All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to take 2 of Game 2 here of the King of the Sea 13 International Finals between Shaft and BANCV as we are here on Northern Waters. Let's take a look at those lineups once again. From the north here, Shaft spawning in with Yamato, Kremlin, Des Moines, Salem, Minotaur, Venezia, Stalingrad, a very nice wide array of cruisers, rounding things out with a Daring and a Ragnar. But I cannot wait to hear what Stats and Henning have to say about this BANCV lineup.
First of all, I'm going to direct your attention to the hit points of the teams because BANCV have 100,000 less hit points, and that is because they are running Ohio Kremlin, Worcester, we saw that earlier, a Colbert, the first time we've seen that recently in King of the Sea, a Nevsky, 2 Gearings, and 2 Ragnars. Now, Mr. BANCV Henning, you were actually mentioning earlier that we might see maybe a Colbert or something. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
Unlike Blood, why are you doing this to me? Like, what? So, we saw a booster earlier with the idea to spam the E1 walk there. Didn't really work out because the Des Moines that was sitting there got smoked by his Daring fan the entire time. I have no idea about the Colbert. I'm not sure what it's about. I have not seen it strat before. I have not seen anyone pick a Colbert before in this King of the Sea. So, no clue.
So my question is, where are they going to stick it? So it's going over towards A. We saw before the Worcester of Anlay, and Anlay is in the Worcester again, was shooting from smoke initially, and then from by the side of the islands. But the Colbert is heading over towards A. Is that going to be open water? And what is it designed to hit? Because hitting anything that's moving with a Colbert at range is very, very tricky. So I'm assuming it's intended for a nose-in target.
I am actually not quite sure what it's about. Like,
I can't see right now where this is going.
like I have not seen a Colbert in COTS work ever.
No.
I think we're all a little baffled, honestly. And the other thing is that, you know, I could see it if maybe you paired it up. If you brought one in, maybe thought to play it like a Nevsky or that Worcester, smoke it up, move it around, put it in positions, whatever. But there's no smoke on that side of the map.
Exactly. So if you're going to do that, you would bring a smoke screen. But if you're going to bring smoke screen, you would bring a Nevsky.
That's right. I agree. I got nothing.
Get it.
I guess we'll find out, right?
The only thing I can think right now is they're going to either stick it into the island, or they're going to have it kiting on the one line right by the border to try and catch a destroyer around the island somewhere.
Well, BANCV does strike first over at the C cap. They put Viles gearing in. They pick up C. He gets radared by Exodus's Stalingrad, a little dinged up and pushed out of the cap as now Flo's Daring is going to reverse in and steal back those points as BANCV out to they're going to take about 20-25 points off of that cap, and then it's going to go the other way.
BANCV's gearing reversing into the B cap. Zill's Minotaur is there, probably a radar miner.
There's the Colbert. You know what I think it might be?
Kremlin as well. I think the Kremlin is supposed to push into A here.
Yeah, and the speed boost on the Colbert, because it does have the speed boost, doesn't it? It is French.
Yes, it does.
Has kind of enabled it to get over here, I think, a little faster than maybe that they were anticipating. Now, they're not able to get as much damage on distressed Ragnar as they probably wanted, but now that the Colbert is there, the 2 Ragnars around, that's enough radar. It should be able to keep him out of the cap.
Yeah, that threat of the DPM sitting right there by the island is certainly going to be worrying the Ragnar for Shaft. The Salem, not so much, because the Salem can easily just back around the island a little bit.
Brandis is gearing, touching B. One of the Ragnars, that's Shriver picking up A as we sit here. Chatban's Salem radar, the little T-Rex radar going out, should have the range to pick up Shriver, and it does. So here comes some shells from Possum.
I heard you describe it as a T-Rex radar on the NA cast. That made me laugh for a long time.
Yeah, that's I stole that from Zath, but I find it to be completely accurate,
I love
right?
it.
Because it's just his little T-Rex radar.
Yeah, I love it. Okay, so they do get A. Blood Legend after capping is just going to retire. Snackman is pushing in still.
He is actually. I'm a little surprised at that.
His goal is the E3 position on that island, on the northern island.
Okay, no,
yeah.
that makes sense if he can get there. Taking a salvo at Zill's Minotaur with his bow guns.
We have
That's a
done that
long push.
before, I think in COD 11 or 12. It's a really safe position once the Kremlin get there. The only threat you usually have to watch out for is torpedoes from like a shimmer on A, but I mean, it's a Wagner.
Yep, exactly.
So AP out from Vert's Kremlin over on the one line against the broadside of Snackman. Does 10k.
10k, not terrible. Not great, not terrible, as the Worcester gearing pair does manage to pick up B. There's some torpedoes coming in to the smoke that Brandis is laying for Onlai. Onlai's going to take at least one of the... Oh, they run short. Look at that. Not quite enough range out of those Minotaur torpedoes.
Shaft obviously have C, no danger there. They can't really deal with Snackman now that he's pushed all the way forwards to the island. They don't really have a way of digging Kinemod's Colbert out from behind the island right now.
You can actually farm the Kremlin over the island without being spotted.
Yeah, and this is the beauty of the Colbert. It's got such loopy shells.
Yeah, he can just... It's like in Atlanta, right? He can sit up next to this island and still get shells downrange.
Yeah, and here you see the Kremlin. The Kremlin's not even spotted.
Yeah, Snackman's actually dark in that position, although he and Chatban are about to proxy spot each other at 2 kilometers when Snackman drifts just a little farther forward. There it is.
Well, that is entirely intentional because the Ohio of Angelstone is, of course, pushing up into a mid position, hoping to get a spot on Chatban, and the island is currently in the way. But if the Salem ever goes backwards, Angelstone will definitely be looking for that shot, although Angelstone currently shooting over towards Charlie.
BANCV with a stranglehold on A and B at the moment. I just don't... like last game, I'm not sure how Shaft gets back into these caps.
Radar out from Zill's Minotaur from Shaft gets Anlay in the smoke.
Yamato shells falling in
Yamato.
on Onlay, but nothing
It's
doing.
a Yamato.
Yeah, a little chip damage, but nothing catastrophic.
Chatband is down to 32.
He's getting rained on from like 3 different sides here.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Blood Legend paying with a little bit of hit points here to try and get some extra shells on.
And the Colbert can lob it as well. Oh,
Yeah,
no.
exactly. Kinemod can lob both corners of that island at will without getting spotted. They've obviously gone into it. They've gone into a training room and they've tried that.
I was just about to say that. They're just about to say that they've obviously come with that. And there goes Chatban. Angelstone moves in for the kill, just like you predicted, Stats.
So that locks down A. I don't see a way. Henning, can you see anything that Shaft can do right now to?
I think they should have gone
this
more
position?
aggressively on B like ages ago, but they're kind of not doing it.
Well, they're bringing Flow over, but pulling him off of B is going to leave C open, and Vile is absolutely going to take advantage of that here. He's about to reverse back onto the cap, so at worst, you're going to trade caps, which is a net zero. Like, that doesn't get you anything.
The big advantage Shaft still has is they have a lot of HP still over BANCV because of BANCV's really, really light setup. The question is, can they actually use these HP for anything that makes sense? Like, they have a Des Moines that's completely out of position on C2. He's not doing anything. The Kremlin on D1 is even worse.
The funny thing is, I'm watching the health pool of Shaft going tick, tick, tick downwards because of Kinemod's Colbert.
Yes, I was going to say, when this match is over, I want a screenshot of Kinemod's stat screen at the end, because I want to know how many shells he fired and how many hits he had.
Yeah, I'd imagine it's mostly... I was watching him shooting Vert's Kremlin. It looked like it was mostly shatters.
Oh, he's shattering a million of them, but I still want to know.
But then now and again you'll get a fire, and that's what's doing the damage.
They're bringing Alnay's Worcester back up to the southwestern corner of the cap to try and counter Flow here a bit, but like we talked about, they just flip-flop caps, B going to Shaft, C falling back in the hands of BANCV, so they're really, I think, just trying to look and see if they can catch Flow when he tries to get out.
Shaft are trying to make a counter push down the 9-10 line with Stalingrad and Venezia. I think Exodus will end up with nose into the cap as Camilleal tries to push a little bit further south, push that Nevsky off.
I think he's actually beaching first, which loses him valuable time right now.
Approaching 800 points here for BANCV.
10 minutes gone, halfway mark of the game, and it's one's just kind of like game one. It's all BANCV at the moment. They just sort of choked these guys out of the caps. Solid control of A, pretty solid control of B, although they've traded B and C now.
Well, then Wayne going on the Yamato.
If Exodus can get a radar onto Vile's gearing and Kimilil can get a good couple of shots, that would be nice.
He waited recently. It's gonna be a little bit of time before he gets back.
In which case, Vile's probably going to try and stay just outside radar range.
I feel like that's what it's going to take, right? Stalingrad now stepping onto C, almost a 400-point gap that Shaft has to make up here. If they can get the Venezia salvo on Vile, that could be big, but it's going to take more than one. He's got a good chunk of health.
Zando's Yamato is being farmed down pretty quickly, as is Exodus Blaze's Stalingrad. Shaft's hit point pool dropping quite quickly.
Just about back to parity, despite the fact that they started with 100,000-point advantage. And Zill's caught out now.
As well.
Yeah, they've got eyes on Zill, and they're just all in on him right now.
Snackman is also being whittled down. He does get to a heal. Down to 17, 18, 14. Kamikaze's HE is adding up quite quickly.
Zill's in trouble here. The Angel Stone got a salvo in the air. Doesn't connect, but they've sunk tons of damage into Zill. Under 4K, still burning.
The key thing with a Minotaur is making sure you kill it. Because if you don't,
they get Angel Stone.
Come back. Yep, Angel Stone down with combination torps and showers. Which is interesting because last time I checked, Angel Stone was pretty healthy.
Vert and Zill are both crazy low over there. Knackman has 3 ships under 10,000 HP, all basically in the same grid square. Minnow's going out. The Colbert's going to bag the Minnow.
Vert gets to a heal.
Snackman burns down.
He does find damage done. He is actually alive.
Okay, Vert is dark next to the island and healing. Okay, 875 points on the board for BANCV.
What happened to Exodus Blade? He's down to 6K on a start and on a 9 line.
They've been farming him pretty mercilessly.
Just been farming him. It's almost all the Nevsky.
Yeah, Vile's also down to about 5K. I think there was a torpedo salvo going out for Exodus earlier. I think 1 or 2 of those might have connected as well. Should have helped things along. BANCV about to touch 900 points with 7 minutes to play. They have a solid lead, but they're getting pushed pretty hard.
They need to get into A.
Exodus needs to stay dark behind the island and stop Sneaky Snake from finishing.
Yeah, I was going to say they need to preserve Exodus's ship. Kimmy's going to pick up C, I think, and Kamikazes is making a run for the A cap that I think he's in a good position to pick up and take.
Vile's gearing is desperately trying to get a spot on Exodus Blaze because that's going to take the points very close to 1,000. But nope, Exodus does manage to get in right behind the island.
His torpedoes are going to fall astern of Kimmy. He might take 1. No, he's good.
So many potential kills here right now. Blood Legend's low. Sneaky Snake is quite low.
But Shaft still has a health advantage and a cap advantage, despite the fact that they're up against the wall. They've got to get into A.
If they lose Kamikazes, the game is basically over. That's the problem.
Yeah. And they know it, right? Kami's about to step onto A, so right there, they've stopped all of BANCV's points gains, but they've now got 4 ships in a position to just brutally murder Kamikazes, and it's probably going to happen.
Yeah, Kinemod's accelerating, and will shortly be getting shells into the side of Kamikazes.
Kama's radaring. He's turning his turrets. He's looking for this Colbert move that he expects this to happen.
Kinemod is very healthy right now.
Yeah. It only takes a few Des Moines AP salvos to change that, though.
He's spawned, though.
Colbert's got AP against the Des Moines, so my money's on BANCV here in this exchange.
Exodus they get Exodus. That's huge. Because now when Kamikazes goes down right here, that is going to be game 2 in the books. Right there. Wow. BANCV loses both their battleships and still hangs on to win the game.
Yeah, unconventional lineup there with the Colbert and the Worcester, which is fantastic to see at this stage of the tournament. So the next map is a hotspot. So we'll see, and that was Shaft's pick. So we'll see if BANCV do something standard, or whether maybe they go with something a little bit unusual again. Let's go back to Prague.